and workload coordination without automation. How important was that for you at the start? Are you seeing the Neo Cloud growth amp that up? Like what's going on underneath the hood from an automation perspective for your Neo Cloud customers?
So look, what we do, we provide network automation software specifically designed for Neo Clouds, for AI cloud operators, right? With the functionality that is helping to manage multiple fabrics. Same single controller can manage your north-south front-end fabric, your east-west back-end fabrics, multiple fabrics, controller that kind of understands some intricacies of like running Rocky or running this quad plane, whether you're using hardware multiplane load balancing or software multiplane load balancing. We can dive into these things. Controller that's also managing your out-of-band management, because out-of-band itself is becoming massive. You would not think about out-of-band as like 600 switches in out-of-band alone, but it's even out-of-band is big. And then switches are not all right. It goes beyond switches. Because you're building cloud services provider, cloud services offering. So you also need to manage edge functions. So AWS has something they call elastic IPs, elastic load balancers. And this kind of functionality, how you as a Neo Cloud provide this kind of functionality. So you need that functionality too. So while on switch management side, we manage hardware switches coming from NVIDIA or other vendors. On that edge side, we have our own edge gateway software. It's XDP-accelerated software. We call it SoftGate. SoftGate is horizontally scalable and multi-tenant edge gateway designed for cloud providers. It is something that fully and natively integrates with your north-south fabric. It becomes kind of part of your EVPN underlay, but it's not a switch. It's a server, XDP-accelerated server that provides NATing functions, elastic IP functions, elastic load balancer functions. So with SoftGate, you have your edge and you connect through internet. You have with our controller and switch fabric manager, we have you have your kind of switches taking care of front end, back end, out of band. Back end, by the way, can be Ethernet, can be InfiniBand. We manage both, and we always provide the same experience. Now, in addition to that, we have something, rack scale networking. NVIDIA calls it NVLink 72. So this is basically additional layer of networking that connects GPUs to GPUs within the rack, as opposed to east-west network, which is GPUs to GPUs connection across different racks. But these are two separate networks you need to manage separately. And you also need to manage host networking sometimes, and like to your point, Scott, it's not one size fits all. Every Neo Cloud has slightly different architecture. Someone is using InfiniBand, someone is using Ethernet, someone is using quad plane, someone is using, dual plane, someone is planning to use, octaplane is something that's coming soon, and someone is using DPUs. Now, well, octaplane and then maybe 16 planes. Who knows? Lot more switches than you would think.
Isn't the octaplane from a James Bond movie or something?
Yeah. One thing that you said, Alex, that I want to make sure that I underscore for our listeners is that you said that you work with both Ethernet and InfiniBand networks and provide the same experience for both. And for those of us who are coming from a traditional enterprise or data center networking background where Ethernet is what we've worked with, although if you've worked with Token Ring, please sit down because your back hurts. Don't really have visibility into the InfiniBand world and understand the nuances of how InfiniBand is supposed to work. I think that Netris providing a unified experience across all of those mediums allows for something that we are really not hearing a lot about now, but we'll probably hear about in the future, which is the transition from InfiniBand over to Ultra Ethernet or eSUN or these faster methodologies, because InfiniBand has been king in the AI world for a long time due to its HPC backgrounds and things like that. But a lot of the innovation is happening on the Ethernet side, thanks to UEC, thanks to Spectrum X, thanks to eSUN and all the rest.